Well, the next craze in meatless menu options has arrived. So, what is the latest meat alternative to hit the market? Is it wings? Here we go again, you say. Wait till you hear this story. What are the health benefits of meat alternative mycoprotein and meatless options for your next big game party menu? And as you know, a lot of people do say, look, I'd love to come, and I don't mean to be a you know what, but what are you serving? You know, is it meat? Is it fish? Is it this? Because, you know, I'm in a bit of trouble. I can't do that stuff. Well, listen to what Ben has got to say. And it's Ben Sussna, and he's the head of marketing at Quorn Foods USA. Welcome, Ben.
Hey, Mark. Thanks so much for having me.
You're most welcome. Well, the reports are showing that meat alternatives and plant-based options, they're one of the fastest growing trends in food, from casual dining and fast food restaurants to your neighborhood grocery store. In fact, Americans are seeking out more vegetarian options. According to the Good Food Institute, sales of plant-based meats grew over 37% from April 2017 in a couple of years to April 2019. Now, Ben, it seems just in time for big game entertaining and for the first time on the casual dining stage. What's going on, my friend?
Well, we're so excited, Mark, to be able to launch the first poultry alternative on a national scale in the U.S. Under great timing. So we've got the big game coming up over the next week or so. And then also just general resolution time frame and consumers turning that calendar and trying to eat a little bit healthier, eat a little bit less meat. And our partnership with Hooters is really going to allow consumers to do that. So we're asking folks to go into Hooters and try the Unreal wings, order them just the way you would a normal chicken wing, and we feel you'll be blown away with the taste and texture. They are truly unreal. So we're excited to bring those out to the market and be the first ones on a national scale with a poultry item that's not made from chicken.
So now as a red-blooded Aussie, I can not only go in there and perv my heart out, but I can eat healthier as well, huh? Well, Quorn is a leading maker. You guys have become the leaders of meat alternative foods, and to partner with Hooters to launch Unreal Wings in 318. They called Unreal Wings in 318. Restaurants nationwide. That's the total. That's a lot of restaurants. Tell us about the partnership and why, you think this was the right time to launch then.
Yeah, so, Hooters really has a reputation as the undisputed chicken wing expert here in the U.S. And they've got every kind of chicken wing, Mark, you could imagine, boneless, roasted, smoked wings, et cetera. And, as they look to appeal to the growing number of consumers who are looking to cut back on the amount of meat that they eat, but not cut back on taste and texture or indulgence, they felt this was a natural extension for them to be the first to market with a meatless chicken wing that most importantly delivers that same amazing Hooters wing flavor, which consumers know and love, in a meatless version. And the Unreal Wing name actually came out of the boardroom. And when we sat and sampled the food to the Hooters team about 2 months ago, the most common reaction was, I can't believe it. These wings are unreal. And lo and behold, the name stuck, and we launched the Unreal Wings on the 6th of January across the country. And I think you picked up on that, Mark. A lot of the big chains out there will pick a test market or a couple test markets to see how the launch goes on a limited time only basis. And we were really excited that Hooters put, 2 feet in, national launch all across the country, and are supporting the launch with a ton of media digitally and also a national TV campaign, which is really exciting.
Yeah, that does sound exciting. I mean, what are the latest statistics, Ben, about the rise in popularity of meat alternatives?
So the category now is over $1 billion in sales.
Whoa!
And what's driving that, Mark, is it's not that all of a sudden there's a higher percentage of the population that's become vegetarian or vegan overnight. What has changed is there's this new consumer group, which we would call a flexitarian or a meat reducer. And I would put myself in that camp, a consumer who isn't going to give up meat, but certainly knows he or she needs to eat a little bit less for health reasons, for sustainability reasons, et cetera. And that's what we've seen as the huge driver. Impossible Foods just launched an Impossible Whopper at Burger King, and they reported that 98% of the consumers trying that product are meat eaters. So I think what's changed is that this category has moved from an either or, just for vegetarians, to now it's, really just meant to be great food for everyone. And as consumers who eat meat decide to eat a little bit less for whatever reason, this is a great option to get that same taste and texture you love from meat, but it's a little bit healthier and a little bit less taxing on the planet's resources. And, all indications, Mark, are that the trend's not slowing down and actually going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. And as a global population, we have to find other ways to feed ourselves than animal protein, which has kind of been the tradition for hundreds of years. So we're really excited to be the first ones on a national scale to launch into the poultry segment of this category. And do it with a brand like Hooters, which is really known for expertise in the chicken wing space.
Folks, in case you've just joined me, Ben Sussna is the head of marketing and innovation for Quorn's North American business. They're headquartered in Chicago, and over the past 5 years, Ben has led the team responsible for driving consumer trial and awareness. I mean, it's the food game. You don't, you don't bring it out that's right. You're not going to go back, are you? So the Quorn brand, as well as developing and launching new innovative products, that's his gig. It's a pretty important thing right across the U.S. marketplace. Now, when you consider, Ben, that, you must be doing something right. Quorn has enjoyed 20 to 30% year-over-year revenue growth. It's now the number 3 brand of meat alternatives in the U.S. grocery channel. I mean, that's huge. That's an 8% market share or something?
Yeah, we've invested a ton in our business, Mark, over the past 5 years, not only putting new products onto the marketplace like the Unreal Wings, but also spending a bunch of money on advertising, especially on social media. And, consumers have oftentimes a negative association with this category. They think the food doesn't taste very good. They may have tried a veggie burger 5 or 10 years ago and not had a good experience. So, it's really our mission to try to put amazing food imagery in front of consumers and just communicate to them that you can make the exact same meals you love. You can make a chili, a lasagna, a chicken parm. All you have to do is substitute out the protein. There's no other switch you have to make. And with that change, you get incredible benefits nutritionally, but also it's a great way to help minimize your environmental impact compared to all the meat we eat, which is great, but ultimately we're going to have to find other ways to feed our populations. We just can't keep making more meat and meat and meat as the population grows. So
that's right. That's right.
It's an exciting challenge for us to be able to try to convince consumers that it's worth a try, and we're really confident that once they give it a go, they'll have an amazing experience and they'll be hooked.
Well, I want to throw one at you out of left field, but I don't want to put you on the spot. But there are defined health benefits of choosing meat alternative proteins. Now, do you happen to have a little list in front of you at all, Ben, to just share with the listeners?
Sure. So a couple of really key health benefits, Mark. From a caloric perspective, the Unreal Wings have 20% fewer calories than a normal boneless wing would. There's less fat and saturated fat in the product versus a normal chicken wing. I think the really interesting one is dietary fiber. And, meat is not a natural source of dietary fiber, which is a really important nutrient for every consumer to get their daily allowance of. And every serving of Quorn actually is an excellent serving of dietary fiber, which is more than 20% of your daily value. So you're fewer calories, less fat, and then you get a really good benefit in terms of dietary fiber. And then all the other benefits sustainability-wise, which we've talked about in terms of just being a little bit less taxing on the environment. But all that being said, same great taste and texture. Consumers can have come to love it at Hooters, and we really don't think anyone will be able to tell the difference.
Wow. I'm going to give it a shot. I mean, and I'm a critic, I can tell you, but I love my meat. But I'm also in a position where, the doc has said, listen, you got to do this, this, this. And I got a hunch that's going to be part of it. I mean, it is footy season, football, and Americans are hosting big game parties right now. I think you've touched on it before, but I'd like to hear in closing maybe a few crowd-pleasing meat alternatives that we maybe should throw on the menu for the big game.
Sure. So, obviously the Unreal Wings are fantastic, and Hooters is a really nice delivery business. So there's an opportunity to bring those home to your guests. But on the retail side of our business, we've got a ton of products which are great, Mark, for entertaining. Our meatless nuggets are our number one seller all across the country. And those work great as kind of an appetizer or a little, sometimes we'll do a little mini chicken parm. So put a nugget on kind of a little piece of French bread with some mozzarella and some pesto. Those work really well.
Whoa.
I think my favorite one for the big game is our taco cups. So we use just a little kind of tortilla scoop, our meatless grounds in there with some taco seasoning and then a little bit of cheese. And it's essentially like kind of a little chili cup or a little taco cup. And consumers won't even know that they're not eating meat. So,
there you go.
Our whole mission is to be able to deliver the same great recipes that consumers know and love, but just making that one switch.
Yeah, fabulous.
Quorn instead of.
Yeah, it sounds like a hell of
really
a challenge, doesn't it? I mean, people are so set in their ways, but things are changing. Mindset is changing. Now, listen, this website, can people go to that and get menus and get a terrific overview of what we talked about today, this Quorn.us? Will that show a lot of stuff?
They can, Mark. So all the information about the Hooters Unreal Wings, where you can find those. There's information about the Quorn brand, our mycoprotein ingredient.
Good.
You can find a store locator, ton of recipes, even some coupons. So it's really kind of that one-stop shop to learn a little bit more how meat alternatives can play a place in your diet and give you some recipe ideas for how to deliver the food in a really high-quality way.
That's great. Let's get that, listeners. Get a pen quickly. Okay, https ... www. Look. www.quorn, that's QUORN.US. All right, Quorn.us. Hell of a site. You'll see everything you want to do there. Ben, it's been a pleasure, head of marketing and innovation. I can't leave that out. At Quorn's North American business headquarters in Chicago. Good luck with all of the big launch on this right across the country. And if you get to Tucson, make sure you give me a bell, okay?
Thanks so much, Mark. It was fantastic talking with you this morning. We're excited to hear your feedback on the product.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks a lot, Ben. Ben Sussna, ladies and gentlemen, on The Mark Bishop Show.